Have you ever paused for a moment and wondered, what if your birthday isn't just a day marked by candles, cake, and presents? What if the very day you were born holds a deeper, more profound connection to the spiritual realm, to the forces that protect and guide you through life? Could the date of your birth hold a secret message, one that connects directly to your guardian angel, the divine protector that watches over you? We often go through life unaware of the spiritual forces at work around us, yet the Bible hints at something much greater than we can comprehend. In the next few minutes, we'll take a journey to explore how your birthday, yes, the very day you came into this world, might carry a hidden biblical significance that aligns with your guardian angel's purpose for your life. This is a question few ever ask, but today we're going to uncover it together. In this video, we're going to explore the fascinating intersection of the Bible's teachings about angels and the unique connection they have with your birth date. Most of us are familiar with the idea of guardian angels, those divine messengers who protect and guide us. But have you ever considered that the day you were born could reveal a hidden biblical truth about your angelic companion? The Bible speaks of angels in many ways, sometimes as messengers, sometimes as warriors, and always as protectors. But what if there's something more to their presence in your life? What if the day you came into this world carries a deeper spiritual significance that directly links to the protection, guidance, and purpose of your guardian angel? Today we'll dig into the scriptures to understand the biblical teachings about angels, how they are assigned to us, and why the date of your birth matters in this heavenly plan. Prepare to see the deeper spiritual purpose behind your life's journey and how your guardian angel plays a pivotal role in it. By the end of this video, you'll not only understand how your birthday connects to your guardian angel, but you'll also uncover biblical wisdom that can transform the way you view your life. You'll walk away with a new perspective on the divine protection that surrounds you, and perhaps even a new sense of purpose and direction as you see the unique connection between your birth and your heavenly guardian. Before we dive in, take a moment to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on more powerful Bible teachings like this. And if you're curious about how your birthday could reveal a deeper spiritual connection, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you hope to learn today about angels and the divine purpose behind your birth. Let's begin by looking at what the Bible says about guardian angels. These spiritual beings have a crucial role in the lives of believers, acting as divine protectors sent by God to guide and guard his people. Psalm 91:11 says,
"For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways."
This verse is a powerful declaration of God's protective care over his children. It paints a picture of angels as God's messengers who are sent to watch over us, ensuring our safety and well-being in all areas of life. Matthew 18:10 reminds us of the importance of angels in our lives.
"See that you do not despise one of these little ones, for I tell you that their angels in heaven always see the face of my Father in heaven."
This verse speaks to the special care God provides, especially for the vulnerable. Jesus makes it clear that every believer has an angel assigned to them, someone who is always in God's presence, advocating for them and keeping watch. Finally, the Hebrews 1:14 gives further insight into their mission.
"Are not all angels ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation?"
This verse speaks to the purpose of angels, not only to protect, but also to serve. They are messengers and servants, given the task of assisting believers in fulfilling God's plan for their lives. So who exactly are guardian angels and what role do they play in our lives? In the Bible, angels are spiritual beings created by God to serve as his messengers, warriors, and most importantly in this case, protectors. Guardian angels are those specifically assigned to watch over individuals, ensuring their safety and guiding them on their path. From a biblical perspective, guardian angels aren't just vague spiritual forces. They are real, active beings working on behalf of God's people. They are messengers who deliver God's guidance, warriors who fight on our behalf in spiritual battles, and protectors who keep us safe from harm. Their role in the life of a believer is one of care, direction, and protection. Guardian angels help us navigate the challenges of life, providing comfort during difficult times, keeping us from harm, and sometimes even intervening in miraculous ways when we least expect it. The Bible teaches that they are always in God's presence, listening to his will and acting on his commands. They don't work on their own accord but are part of God's divine plan to safeguard His people. Their mission is to ensure that we walk in the path that God has set for us, providing the kind of protection that goes beyond human understanding. Now let me share with you a brief example, an experience that many people can relate to, where divine protections seem to come from nowhere. I'm sure you've heard stories, or maybe even experienced one yourself, where you narrowly avoided an accident or danger, and in that moment, you couldn't quite explain how you were kept safe. For instance, there's a well-known story from a missionary who had been traveling through a dangerous part of the world. He found himself caught in a sudden, violent storm. The conditions were so bad, people assumed no one could make it out alive. But against all odds, he reached shelter. When asked how he had survived, he responded with one simple phrase, "I don't know how, but I felt like I was being carried." Later in his prayer time, he recalled that in his moment of crisis, he had felt a divine presence surrounding him, as if angels were guiding him to safety. This story serves as a powerful reminder of how we often take God's protection for granted, but His angels are at work even when we're unaware of it. This missionary's experience is just one example, but there are countless stories of people who have experienced similar, inexplicable protection, and many of them tie these moments of safety to the presence of guardian angels sent by God. Now, I'd like to ask you, can you think of a time in your life when you felt inexplicably protected? Maybe it was a moment where you narrowly escaped harm, or where you felt a sudden peace when everything around you seemed chaotic. Share your thoughts with us in the comments below. Your story might be the very encouragement someone else needs to remember the unseen forces that are watching over them every day. And who knows, maybe your angelic encounter will inspire someone to reflect on the powerful ways God works through His angels in their own lives. Remember, as we explore these scriptures and the role of guardian angels, think about the moments when you've sensed their presence and what that might mean for your life today. In the Bible, numbers, dates, and times are not just arbitrary. They carry deep spiritual meaning. God often uses numbers in specific moments in time to communicate His divine plan. One number that carries great significance in Scripture is the number 7. Let's take a look at Genesis 2:2, where the creation story concludes. By the seventh day, God had finished the work He had been doing, so on the seventh day, He rested from all His work. The number 7 here represents completion, spiritual fullness, and perfection. God's work was completed in exactly 7 days, demonstrating that everything He does is in perfect timing. This number of completions echoes throughout Scripture, symbolizing a divine order and fulfillment. But God's use of numbers doesn't stop with 7. In Revelation 21:12, we see the significance of the number 12. It had a great high wall with 12 gates and with 12 angels at the gates. The number 12 is often used to represent God's divine government and authority. There were 12 tribes of Israel and 12 apostles, and in the heavenly city, there are 12 gates guarded by angels. These numerical patterns suggest that even in something as seemingly ordinary as numbers, God is weaving His plan into every detail of life. When it comes to dates and the times, we also see how God is sovereign over all things, including the exact moment you were born. In the Psalm 139:16, David declares,
Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be.
This verse tells us that God is intimately involved in every detail of our lives, including the timing of our birth. Your birthday is not a coincidence. It is a moment ordained by God in His divine timeline. Every detail about the day you were born, the time, the season, the year, is part of God's perfect design. The Bible is full of passages that highlight the sovereignty of God over time. Ecclesiastes 3:1 makes it clear that there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. God has appointed seasons for every part of life. There's a time for birth, a time for planting, and a time for harvesting. Each moment is intricately planned, and nothing is outside of God's control. The timing of your birth, the moment you came into this world, is not random. It's divinely appointed. In Jeremiah 1:5, God tells the prophet Jeremiah,
Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart.
This passage shows that God had a purpose for Jeremiah before he was even born. God had a plan for him, and his plan for Jeremiah was part of a larger story, just as your life is part of a greater story. The same is true for all of us. Even before we were born, God knew us and set us apart for a specific purpose. So what does this mean for your birthday? If God has a purpose for every person, then the day you were born is not just a random day in the calendar. Your birth date is part of God's divine plan. Just as God uses specific numbers and seasons for his purposes, he also uses the timing of your birth to fulfill his greater plan for your life. Your birthday is not by chance. It is a key moment in God's timeline, one that has been purposefully aligned with his will. Think about this. Your guardian angel, the one God assigned to you from birth, is part of the divine plan that God set into motion long before you even took your first breath. This angel was appointed to guide and protect you through every season of life, just as God has assigned specific times and seasons to each of us. This connection between your birth date and the guardian angel assigned to you speaks to the sovereignty of God. From the very beginning of your life, God had a plan to guide you, protect you, and help you fulfill your divine purpose. Every birthday you celebrate is a reminder of this truth. Now, I want to ask you a question. Do you believe your birthday has a deeper meaning? Can you see how your birth date fits into God's greater plan for your life? Maybe you've never thought about it this way before, but I encourage you to reflect on the significance of the day you were born. Think about how your life has unfolded, the people you've met, the experiences you've had. All of these moments are part of God's divine purpose for you. Take a moment and leave a comment below. What are your thoughts on the divine purpose behind the day you were born? How does this understanding change the way you see your life and the timing of everything that has happened up to this point? Let's engage with one another and explore this deeper connection to God's plan. Who knows what new insights you may uncover as we reflect on the spiritual significance of our birth dates together. The idea of numerology, the belief that numbers have inherent meanings, isn't just a modern-day concept. It has deep roots in biblical tradition. Numbers play a significant role in understanding spiritual truths and even the presence of angels in our lives. Have you ever considered that the numbers connected to your birth date could hold clues to the angel assigned to you? Let's explore this fascinating idea of angelic numerology. When you break down the numbers in your birth date, each number can represent spiritual qualities or even specific angels that guide you through life. For instance, take the birth date May 15, 1984. To unlock the angelic significance, you would add up the digits. 1 plus 5 plus 1 plus 9, sure 8, sure 4, sure 28, and then the 2 plus 8, sure 10, and finally 1 plus 0, sure 1. This gives us the number 1, a number that often represents new beginnings, leadership, and strength. In angelic numerology, this could correspond to the influence of Archangel Michael, known as the warrior angel, who embodies protection, strength, and the ability to lead others to victory. Now imagine if your birth date revealed number 7, or a number often associated with spiritual completion and divine rest. This could indicate a connection to Archangel Gabriel, the angel of revelation and communication, who brings clarity and understanding from God. These numbers can act as a gateway to discovering which guardian angel might be guiding you. The act of breaking down your birth date using simple numerology can open up new insights into your spiritual life and your divine protector. To understand the biblical foundation for this concept, let's turn to the book of Revelation and the book of Daniel. These ancient texts shed light on how angels are intertwined with numbers and times. In Revelation 5:11, we read,
Then I looked and heard the voice of many angels, numbering thousands upon thousands, and 10,000 times 10,000. They encircled the throne and the living creatures and the elders.
This verse speaks to the immense number of angels present in heaven, emphasizing how numbers are used to describe the angelic realm. The idea of angelic numerology is rooted in these kind of scriptures, suggesting that heavenly beings are often associated with specific numbers and times. Similarly, in Daniel 7:10, the prophet describes,
A river of fire was flowing, coming out from before him. Thousands upon thousands attended him. 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him.
The use of large, specific numbers to describe heavenly beings reinforces the idea that numbers are not just abstract concepts, but symbols that can point to something far deeper: spiritual significance, and in this case, the presence of angels and their roles. Through this biblical lens, we can understand that numbers are not only significant on earth, but also in the heavenly realms, where angels are often linked to these divine markers. Your birth date is no exception. There's a spiritual significance in those numbers, pointing to the angel assigned to you at birth. Now let's dive into the process of discovering the angelic significance of your birth date. Here's a step-by-step guide to help you unlock the hidden meaning. Step 1. Break down your birth date. Start by breaking your birth date into its individual digits. For example, if your birthday is December 22, 1990, you would add 1 plus a 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 0 are 26, and then 2 plus 6 are 8. In this case, the number 8 could correspond to qualities of Archangel Raphael, known as the healing angel, as the number 8 is often associated with balance and healing energy. Step 2. Consider the month, day, and year. The month, day, and year each have their own significance. Months like January or March are often associated with Archangel Michael, a protector of leadership and courage, while April or the August may be tied to Gabriel, messenger and teacher. Similarly, certain days of the week and in the seasons are linked to angelic presence. For example, Wednesdays are traditionally associated with Archangel Raphael, the healer, due to the middle point of the week representing a moment for healing and balance. Step 3. Compare your number to angelic figures. Once you've broken down your numbers, you can align them with biblical figures. If your sum results in the number 1, you may find a strong connection to Archangel Michael, the warrior. For a number 4, consider the Archangel Uriel, known for wisdom and knowledge. The number 7, as mentioned earlier, could align with Gabriel, who is tied to spiritual completion and divine messages. Let's take a real-life example to demonstrate this process. Suppose someone was born on March 3rd, 1985. Breaking down the digits: 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 8 plus 5, 29, and then 2 plus 9, 11, and 1 plus 1, 2. The number 2 often relates to Archangel Gabriel, the messenger angel. Gabriel is known for guiding us through moments of communication, transition, and spiritual understanding. This could mean that the person born on March 3rd, 1985 has a special connection to Gabriel, helping them understand divine messages and communicate with clarity. Now, I want to hear from you. Take a moment to think about your birth date. When you break down the numbers, do you notice any angelic connections or symbolism that stands out to you? Could you sense a particular angel guiding your life based on these numbers? Leave a comment below and share your thoughts. If you've ever felt the presence of an angel or a divine guiding force in your life, how does this newfound understanding of angelic numerology resonate with you? I encourage you to reflect and share your experiences. Let's keep this conversation going as we seek a deeper connection with our guardian angels and God's divine purpose for us. Angels' role in protecting believers. In the Bible, angels are more than just supernatural beings with wings and halos. They are messengers of God, protectors of His people, and warriors in spiritual battles. God sends His angels to carry out specific tasks, one of the most profound being their role in protection, shielding His followers from harm, guiding them through life's darkest times, and sometimes even saving them in miraculous ways. Let's dive into some powerful biblical stories that showcase how guardian angels have acted to protect believers. These stories aren't just ancient tales. They're timeless reminders of how angels are actively working on our behalf, even today. Daniel 6:22, the angel shutting the mouths of the lions. One of the most famous stories of angelic protection is found in the book of Daniel. In this story, Daniel is thrown into the lion's den for defying King Darius's decree, refusing to worship anyone other than God. The king, feeling regretful, orders that Daniel be thrown into the den, hoping for some kind of miracle. As Daniel faces the lions, something incredible happens. The Bible tells us that an angel of the Lord appears to shut the mouths of the lions, preventing them from harming him. My God sent his angel and shut the mouths of the lions. They have not hurt me. Daniel 6:22. This powerful story is a clear testament to the protective power of guardian angels. Not only does the angel intervene physically to protect Daniel, but the angel also serves as a messenger of God's favor and protection. God's angels are present when we face danger, and in the darkest moments of our lives, they are there to shield us. Acts 12:7. An angel freeing Peter from prison. In the New Testament, we see another powerful example of angelic intervention in Acts 12:7. The apostle Peter is imprisoned by King Herod, awaiting his execution, but the night before his trial, as Peter is chained to guards, an angel of the Lord appears in his cell. Suddenly, an angel of the Lord appeared, and a light shone in the cell. He struck Peter on the side and woke him up. "Quick, get up," he said, and the chains fell off Peter's wrists. The angel doesn't just protect Peter from harm, he actively frees him from physical bondage, leading him out of the prison unnoticed. This story reminds us that angels don't only protect us in the immediate moment of danger. Sometimes they lead us to freedom, breaking the chains that bind us, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual. Genesis 18:1-3, the angels visiting Abraham to deliver God's message. In the book of Genesis, the Lord appears to Abraham in the form of three visitors, who are often interpreted as angels sent to deliver a divine message. Abraham and his wife Sarah are promised a child despite their old age, a child through whom God's covenant with Abraham will continue. The Lord appeared to Abraham near the great trees of Mamre while he was sitting at the entrance to his tent in the heat of the day. Abraham looked up and saw three men standing nearby. These visitors, sent by God, provide guidance and spiritual encouragement to Abraham. They carry God's messages of promise and assurance, showing that angels are not only agents of protection, but also messengers, guiding us toward God's will. Whether delivering divine promises or warnings, angels communicate God's heart for his people. Through these stories, we begin to understand that guardian angels are not just protectors in the literal sense. Their role is much deeper. They help deliver God's messages, provide direction in moments of uncertainty, and guide us towards spiritual fulfillment. In Daniel's case, it wasn't just the physical protection from the lions that mattered. It was the deeper message of God's faithfulness, a reminder that God will always deliver his people, even from the most impossible situations. Similarly, Peter's miraculous escape from prison wasn't just a rescue from harm, but a demonstration of God's ability to free us from all forms of captivity, both physical and spiritual. Sometimes we don't recognize the presence of our guardian angels in our lives until we look back. I've had moments when I felt protected or guided, and later realized how much divine intervention had been at work. For instance, I remember a time when I was facing a major decision, one that seemed overwhelming and full of uncertainty. I prayed, asking God for direction, and in a moment of stillness, a thought came to my mind that was not my own. It was as if I suddenly knew the right path to take. Looking back, I see that this could have been the gentle nudge of my guardian angel, guiding me when I needed it most. Angels don't always make their presence obvious, but they are always working, sometimes in ways we don't fully understand until later. I encourage you to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever felt a sudden sense of peace or direction that you couldn't explain? Or experienced a moment of protection that seemed too perfect to be a coincidence? Perhaps it was an angel watching over you. Let's take a moment to consider someone you might know, perhaps a friend, family member, or even a historical figure who has experienced angelic protection. Imagine someone facing a life-threatening situation, such as an accident or a medical emergency. In this moment, there's no logical explanation for how they survived, but somehow they did. Maybe they had a near miss with a car accident, or they felt an inexplicable urge to make a life-saving decision in a critical moment. Could it be that an angel intervened, guiding them to safety? Perhaps there are instances in your own life where you can look back and see moments where protection or guidance felt almost supernatural. Whether it's a close call on the road or a situation that seemed too coincidental to be by chance, we must begin to acknowledge that the unseen world is actively involved in our lives. Now I want to hear from you. Do you have a story where you felt the presence or protection of an angel in your life? Maybe it was a moment of danger where you were inexplicably shielded, or a moment when you felt a divine nudge leading you in the right direction. We'd love to hear your experiences. Please share your story in the comments below. I believe many of us have encountered angelic intervention in our lives without fully understanding it at the time. By sharing our stories, we can encourage each other and deepen our understanding of how God works through His angels. Guardian angels are often viewed as divine protectors, watching over us in times of danger and ensuring that we are shielded from harm. However, their role goes far beyond just physical protection. Guardian angels are sent to guide us through life, leading us on a spiritual journey and helping us grow closer to God's purpose for our lives. In Psalm 34:7, we read,
The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him and delivers them.
This verse speaks to the twofold mission of guardian angels: protection and guidance. They are not passive observers of our lives. They actively encamp around us, surrounding us, watching over us, and providing deliverance when needed. But just as they guard us physically, they also guide us spiritually, helping us make decisions that align with God's will. Imagine for a moment that you're at a crossroads in your life, facing a tough decision, uncertain about the next step. In these moments, a guardian angel isn't just protecting you from harm. They're also offering guidance, whispering gentle suggestions that help lead you closer to God's plan. For example, maybe you're considering a job opportunity that doesn't feel quite right, or a relationship that seems to pull you away from your spiritual path. Your guardian angel might guide you through a sudden sense of clarity, peace, or intuition, leading you to make decisions that bring you closer to the person God has called you to be. Our guardian angels are here to help us become more aligned with God's plan, helping us to grow spiritually and to trust in His guidance every day. But how do we recognize the presence of our guardian angels? They don't always appear in dramatic, visible ways like the angels in the Bible. However, they make their presence known in more subtle, yet deeply impactful ways. Here are some practical ways to recognize the influence of your guardian angel in your life. Through dreams. Sometimes angels communicate with us through dreams. These dreams may not always be vivid or filled with angelic imagery, but they can be deeply meaningful. A dream may offer direction, provide clarity in a difficult situation, or give us the peace we need to move forward. Sudden thoughts. Have you ever had a thought that popped into your mind out of nowhere? A thought that feels almost too perfect to be your own, guiding you in a moment of confusion? This could very well be your angel offering guidance. When we're connected to God's will, these thoughts can feel like an answer to a prayer. A sense of peace. Perhaps one of the most common signs of angelic presence is the feeling of the peace that settles over us in moments of chaos. When we're struggling with anxiety or fear, an overwhelming sense of calm may appear out of nowhere. This peace, described in Philippians 4:7, is this peace that passes all understanding. A peace that doesn't make sense based on the circumstances, but is a sign that God is near through His angelic messengers.
And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus.
Philippians 4:7. When you feel this kind of peace, it could be a sign that your guardian angel is not only protecting you, but guiding you toward God's plan. This peace doesn't come from the world, but from God, and it is one of the clearest ways to sense the presence of angels in your life. Intuition or gut feeling. Sometimes angels speak to us through our intuition, that quiet inner voice or gut feeling that directs our actions. It's not a loud commanding voice, but a whisper that prompts us to act in ways that we may not understand at the time. This inner knowing often leads us toward decisions that align with God's purpose, especially in moments when we don't have all the answers. Now, I'd like to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a moment of divine guidance or peace that you believe came from your guardian angel? Perhaps you felt a sudden peace in a time of anxiety, or maybe you followed a gut feeling that led you in the right direction. These moments can be life-changing, and I encourage you to share your experiences with us in the comments below. God works through His angels in many ways, and each of us may experience their guidance differently. By sharing these experiences, we can build a stronger understanding of how our guardian angels are actively involved in our lives. What moments have you felt protected, guided, or given peace by your guardian angel? One of the most powerful ways we can connect with our guardian angels is by living with an open heart and a deep awareness of the divine guidance around us. The truth is, our angels are always with us, whether we recognize their presence or not. They are waiting to guide, protect, and help us, but we need to be attuned to their subtle influence in our lives. To begin cultivating this relationship, it's important to open ourselves to the possibility of angelic guidance. Many of us go through life without noticing the small signs or moments when our angels are speaking to us. But by living with intention and being aware of the world around us, we can begin to see how our angels are actively involved in our lives. Start each day by acknowledging the presence of your guardian angel. Speak to them in prayer just as you would speak to God. Invite them into your life, ask for their protection, and trust that they are there to guide you on the path God has set for you. Living with awareness also means trusting your instincts and being open to moments of peace or clarity that feel divinely inspired. When you sense that inner peace or direction, pause and thank your angel for their guidance. Another powerful way to cultivate a relationship with your guardian angel is through prayer and meditation. Prayer is a conversation with God, and by including your guardian angel in those prayers, you invite them into your daily life and requests. Psalm 91 is one of the most well-known prayers for angelic protection, and it can be a great place to start. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. As you pray, remember that you can speak from your heart. Ask for protection, guidance, and strength, and trust that your guardian angel is listening. You can pray specifically for wisdom when faced with tough decisions, or for clarity when you feel lost or uncertain. Meditation is another excellent way to connect with your guardian angel. Take a few moments each day to sit in silence, breathe deeply, and listen. As you focus on God's presence, let your mind open to the possibility of receiving angelic guidance. Angels often communicate through impressions or whispers in our hearts. It's in these moments of stillness that we can feel the gentle touch of our angels, guiding us toward the path of peace and fulfillment. You can also repeat a prayer from Scripture, such as, "Lord, I ask that you send your angels to guard and protect me today. Help me feel your presence and the comfort of your angels. May they guide my steps toward your purpose for my life." Remember, there's no right or wrong way to pray. Your guardian angel is there, ready to support you in whatever way you need. As you reflect on these practices, I encourage you to take time today to reflect on how your angel has guided you. Maybe you've had moments of clarity or protection that you didn't fully understand at the time, but now you see how God was at work through your guardian angel. Have you ever felt the presence of your guardian angel? Or perhaps you've had a moment of divine guidance that you now see in a new light. Take a moment to comment below and share your thoughts. Are you ready to cultivate a deeper relationship with your guardian angel? I would love to hear your thoughts, and I encourage you to share what steps you plan to take to invite your angel's presence into your daily life. In today's video, we've uncovered the biblical meaning behind guardian angels, including the significant role they play in our lives, protecting us, guiding us, and helping us fulfill God's purpose. We also explored the spiritual significance of your birth date and how your guardian angel may have been assigned to you from the very beginning. We've discussed how to recognize the signs of your angel's presence and how you can begin to cultivate a deeper relationship with your guardian angel through prayer, meditation, and awareness. And this week, I encourage you to take a few minutes each day to acknowledge your guardian angel's presence and protection. It can be as simple as saying, "Thank you, God, for sending your angels to watch over me today." Spend time in prayer, ask for guidance, and open yourself to the peace and direction that comes from knowing that you are never alone. Remember, your guardian angel is always with you, ready to guide you toward the plans God has for your life. Take a moment to appreciate that divine protection and cultivate a deeper connection with the angel who has been assigned to you. If this teaching has resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe for more insightful Bible teachings and angelic wisdom. Share this video with others who may need encouragement or a reminder of the presence and protection of guardian angels in their lives.